consumer. I mean, I think what's interesting was that after you guys kind of left the market.
You don't like Captain Picard, do you?
Well, I don't know. I'm not from here. Star Trek wasn't big in Europe. But look at Carbonite, right? Carbonite is actually doing fairly well. And the prices after you guys kind of went out has been stable. The market has stabilized.
Their cost per users.
And I think, and I believe that going back to the whole question about what is the cloud, the issue is that we're here in Silicon Valley and we all understand the fine differences between all these services and all that. But if you go to Kansas or someplace like that, the cloud is brand new. What is it? So the fact that you can come with like, oh, you can back up files. A lot of people, that's like, oh, that's great. They understand it. And when we talk about value-added services on storage and all that, a lot of people are like, what the hell are you talking about? They don't get that yet. We, for instance, at Soonr, we have a very large telco partner that's selling our technology as a backup service. We have hundreds of thousands of businesses that are paying for that. And they're selling it like it's unlimited too. It's going really well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Carbonite. I mean, we also talked about the importance of transparency. Carbonite's crazy. Like, if you wanted to store a terabyte of data in Carbonite's system, you have to go look at the fine print. They actually
thousands of years.
Yeah, they actually shrink your quota. Or it's like, okay, you're drinking from a bottle, for the first 30 gigs, and then a coffee straw. Okay, you try and drink your big gulp with a coffee straw. It's not going to happen. You're talking 3 years. If you can stay connected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you can get that connection, will you get your terabyte into Carbonite? And this is kind of a problem across the data center. Now, Carbonite's doing it specifically and targeting you and saying, hey, we're capping your bandwidth. But across, unless you're Google and you have bazillions lines of fiber, everybody else, you basically have one line in your data center or a few lines in your data center and hundreds of thousands of users that have to judiciously use and share. And so with Dropbox, you get 256K upload. Like, whoa, like that. Good thing Dropbox doesn't offer a terabyte for consumers because you would never get it up there. I mean, and that's another problem with the cloud. And so there's got to be major advances. Again, why I love Google Fiber and what they're pushing and driving our industry to doing will open up a lot of opportunities there.
Well, but to that very point, the ROI, there are not very many storage companies who are really making money. Which I think 99% of the companies are losing money.
Well,
I'm just saying, there's a 99, I'm just saying.
That's right.
I agree.
And the business is shrinking, right?
I don't think there's any storage companies out there, but we don't consider ourselves to be a storage company. We sell convenience and peace of mind.
Well, that's because he pays the Amazon tax.
That's what we do.
I mean, that's the problem. So many of us pay the Amazon tax and pay AWS for
No,
storage.
I think Bitcasa clearly, from what Tony said, it's a differentiator. They've got a technology that they're thriving on. It's not a storage. It's a
Okay, I think we have someone else
sorry.
who wants to ask a question.
Tony, I wanted to hear a little bit about your pricing decisions. And what I was wondering is, if I understand this correctly, you have $10 a month unlimited storage. Is that?
That is correct.
Okay. So it seems like you're attracting the addicts, right? And, that's not the profitable consumer. And so I just kind of wanted to get your sense of where you're going with that.
So our goal as a company is to store the world's data. That's it. So we want it all. We want your DVR, we want your photos, your videos, everything. Because Bitcasa is just, it's all accessible across every device. So our marketing campaign is, if you look at, I think on the website it says, we kill the hard drive. That's it. We want to get rid of this physical thing, take everything you own, put it inside of your Bitcasa. We accept the whales, we accept the moms and pops that just want to keep their photos and access them across each individual device. But if you think about Bitcasa, it's less of a software service and a lot closer to a physical hard drive that you just don't see it. It's just everywhere.
Yeah, because I was just listening to Clint's comments earlier about what happened to them, and the cost of storage.
We love Tony and we love Bitcasa, and his other co-founder Kevin is a friend of ours from Mosey. But this is where we differ. This is one of the difference in our thesis is that at some point, any company that offers unlimited has always lied to us. They've always just kick us when we're down. I hope he proves us wrong. I look forward to him proving that wrong and all that stuff, and we'll compete on our side. this is fun. This is fun to sit across the room and look at somebody and say, hey, that's my competition. I root for him. At the same time, I root for the 11 engineers back home who are cranking out. And we fundamentally believe that promising unlimited to consumers is a bad idea. Now, we do believe that you should innovate and you should look at constantly trying to move that bigger and bigger. And just as Flickr did, a couple days ago, now it's a terabyte of free photos. We offer a terabyte today. We hope that expands to 2 and 10 and 60, and hopefully our growth curve will keep up with what the consumer's growth curve is at the same time, without promising something that we can't deliver. Because if you can't, I promise you, it hurts. It hurts your customer morale. It hurts your company's morale. If you have to go back on that promise and for some reason maybe even just kick out a few people and say, oh, well, you're already storing 20 terabytes, and at Amazon, that's you store a terabyte at Amazon, that's $600 a year. At $10 a month, you're not making any money on that guy. And assuming that they have a terabyte, but so. That's the core thesis difference between the two companies, but we wish Mozy had done what they had done.
Clint, I agree with you 100%. And actually, so the reason why everyone else failed when they tried to do it is because they just didn't do it this way. That's it. If you think about, so what do we call ourselves? Consumers. Why do we call ourselves consumers? Because we consume information. We're not called producers. There's, 2 people taking photos right now?
How much storage have you generated in the last 30 minutes?
About, wow. I'm guessing about 6 gigs.
Probably 6 gigs. So if everyone was a paid customer, and he's the only one that generated 6 gigs, that's an amazing business.
But this is
that's called Bitcasa.
This is
www.bitcasa.com.
This is the fundamental problem. Whether it's this guy is leading the charge, some point you guys will all have glass or a device that then changes the whole situation. That's what we saw at Mozy was, yeah, sure, the first users, they were fantastic. We were making moolah. We got bought by EMC for $75 million after 18 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy because we were generating revenue, and then all of a sudden the world changed. And it changed just once. It'll change again 2 or 3 times with new devices. And the incremental change in data center costs will not catch up to the demand of the user. That's just our belief.
If you believe that, the cloud storage doesn't work at all.
Space Monkey. Isn't that why we're here? It's the only reason they invited me.
This is what we did. This is actually what we did. We gave away infinite storage to anyone that signed up for a year for free.
Even I signed up and I stored 5 files. This is the problem. The median.
We're still here.
The median is the more important. Is what's the average moving to and that'll be interesting to see. 2 years from now, invite us all back and say, hey, so what? So was there egg on my face, or were these guys,
How long did it take for you guys to get rid of your infinite at Mozy?
2, 3 years. I don't know. I remember 4 years.
We're
whatever.
2 years now. We just started charging for it.
All right, maybe we should do this.
Let's give these guys a round of applause.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for moderating, Jordan. Thank you so much to the panelists. I am so impressed, and I have to say I'm most impressed by your leadership there.
Hey,
he's been
sugar high,
super
and down. Sugar high and down.
Wow, I'm impressed.
He's a good
Maybe
kid.
he can give you some tips on how
Yeah.
to make that one. Thank you so much, and thank you to our sponsors, and a big thank you to Babson for hosting us, and thank you all for coming, going to SiliconVikings.com and become a member. All right, thanks for coming.